Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette Love. I am just so excited about our guest today. I'm glad to have her on. I mean, she is an entrepreneur. She's a go-getter. She's full of power. Should I say girl power? And we're just going to have her talk to us today about what she's what she has going on in her life. And I'm going to let her introduce basically herself. But let me tell you who she is. Her name is Miss Cindy Earls. So welcome to Real Talk Live, Miss Cindy Earls. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Now, I met you because we both share offices in the same building. Mm-hmm. And we talked for a little while, a couple times. And y'all, listen, she looks just like this young lady that used to preach. And we were both in the ministers' conference. She looks just like her. And I get confused on that. And then with me being me, if I don't have my glasses on, she looked like somebody else too. So I'll be like, she's like, we already met.
At least twice.
Yes, but I need the glasses, but I got her now. So Cindy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, my name is Cindy Earl, and I'm a licensed private investigator, and I started my own private investigation firm, and it's called Proof Please. And we investigate and we advocate for the prosecution of elder abuse cases in Virginia. We help older adults and their families by protecting their independence and seeking justice by way of proof of financial exploitation, neglect, physical abuse, emotional abuse. And we do that by performing wellness checks, comprehensive background checks, and covert surveillance. And I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. And now see, she's doing something that we really need. We really need to make sure somebody is out there taking care of our elderly, making sure they're not being abused or taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. So I think that's great. Now, as far as how you get your clientele, does people call you? Do you go to like the nursing homes? How do you?
So I've been in business for just a year now, and I'm still trying to reach the masses. A lot of people don't know that I exist, and they just think, okay, well, Adult Protective Services got it, but they don't. They only substantiate 50% of the cases, and so Proof Please seeks to fill those gaps. And people have found me through a simple Google search. That's where all of my clients have come from thus far. Oh, and word of mouth.
And that's why I try to tell people, you're going to have to use technology. Yeah. You have to use technology today for your businesses, your entrepreneurship, because days are gone with those flyers that you pass and post around and all that stuff. You can do a few, but for those who are not tech savvy, but you have to use technology. And listen, I'm just so excited for her. I really am excited for her business. If y'all don't know, my background is in law enforcement, criminal justice degree, all that, the 9-yard stuff. So I'm really excited about what she does in the community. I forgot to remind you guys, you can call in if you have any questions, 757-724-1041. And I will filter your questions because she might not be ready for you guys, but you are welcome to call in and join the show. If you have any comments, you can do that as well. Be careful. Anything negative, it might come back. You might get negative. It just depends on how the Lord is grasping me at that moment. Now, y'all know sometimes he let me go, and so let's behave. So, with that being said, now where are you from?
I'm from Portsmouth.
Okay.
Yes.
Born and raised. What school?
So I grew up in Churchland, mm-hmm. and then I went to Norcom.
Okay.
And I still live in Portsmouth. I lived in Atlanta for like a year, but I'm still in Portsmouth. I'm still in the area, Old Town, and that's who I'm trying to,
Okay, and I think that's great. And see, y'all, this is what I tell people all the time. She says she's from Portsmouth. She did go away for a short while. She came back. When we start inputting into our children, and I'm gonna throw this flow. I'm running for school board,
yes.
And not to take away from the interview, but it's important because someone poured into me. And when you do that, the individual wants to come back and work in the community that they're in. They want to come back and do what they can to help. And now I know that's my objective. How do you feel about that?
Okay, good question. So I've reached out to an organization, a workforce organization that was able to provide me with 2 interns. And the interns go to Manor High School in Portsmouth. And so I'm really happy for the opportunity to pour into the youth.
Yes. See, and that's going to stay with them forever.
Yes.
I mean, forever. I mean, I'm just so excited because I remember when I was young, I went to ODU for some training. That never left me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the excitement about going to college, and I was just, I thought I was in college for real, y'all. Trust me, I did. But it would never leave you. Mm-hmm. And so that's all it takes sometime to change your mindset.
Yes.
That's all it takes is just a little touch of something different, a little hint that, oh, I can be doing this too.
And can I say that one of my interns, well, both of them are marketing interns, and the organization pays them on my behalf.
Oh.
Yes. But now one of them is truly interested in criminal justice, private investigations. So she got to sit in with me on an intake with a client, and she's thinking of pursuing this.
Influencer. See? Positive influencer. That's what we need around here. And that is why I declare that I will always bring people on my show that are trying to start their business, that are doing things that need to be heard. Because if you are already out there in these streets, you can come on my show too. But my thing is the people that are just starting up, that you need to know are out there, that's who's going to come on my show. And I'm just so excited. You know what? I'm supposed to be firing my assistant anyway. I might need to get with that group. Give me an intern as well. Yes. I might can get some things done there. I'm just playing. Y'all know my assistant is my sister. I can't really fire her, but she might need an assistant for the assistant. So, anywho, we're going to discuss that so I can get me some help for real. Okay. But yeah, you know, I'm really excited about it. I think you know that from when we met, how interested I was in what you do. Now, can you go about telling us the specifics of what you do for them?
Okay, so I can start with the comprehensive background check. I have access to 3 proprietary databases that are for licensed private investigators and law enforcement and those in that industry. Okay. So I do comprehensive background checks.
On who?
On caregivers, on anyone that's suspicious to you. So maybe there's a neighbor that comes around a lot and you're kind of weary about that person. Okay. Or someone knocks on the door, hey, I can cut your grass for you. And you know, an older adult might be like, oh, sure. No research on it because maybe they're not tech savvy, so they're not Googling reviews or anything. But you want to get a background check on anyone that's performing services in your home. They could be casing your home. So many things that happen. You're vulnerable to so many incidents. So that's what a background check, a comprehensive background investigation will involve. And then covert surveillance. Maybe you're worried that someone's taking the older adult in your life to the bank like 3 times a week. Okay. That's a real scenario that has happened. So I will watch them and figure out things. If they're dating someone that's way too young and maybe their money's disappearing, I would be on alert for that. And
so possibly it may not be the individual hiring you, it may even be a family member.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes.
Okay.
I did have a situation where it was the individual hiring me, and I would call that a sweetheart scam, where you're dating someone and you're spending so much money on this person, you're not sure who this person is because it's long distance. Maybe they met them on the internet. Yeah. So those are the types of scenarios I've dealt with in the past year of being in business. Covert surveillance and wellness checks I haven't had an opportunity to do, but I think it's really important to check in, have someone check in on your elderly loved one.
So, like, if the child or the next of kin lived out of state or something, they will hire you to make sure that they're being treated properly.
Yes.
Perhaps like if they was in a nursing home and stuff.
Nursing homes as well. Yes.
So, do they have to give you like access to their some type of guardianship? So it's like, okay, say if my mother was in a nursing home, I'm not there, but I give you the right to go in and ask questions about her. Is that the type of stuff you do?
So I wouldn't want to ask questions at first. It would be more like I'm visiting.
Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't have to check in with anyone except to, know exactly where that individual is, and then take footage of the room and the situation and assess what's happening so that I can give a report and see if there's a need for further investigation.
Okay, I got you. Oh, yes. Yes, James. It is unique and necessary.
Thank you.
And he said, thank you for bringing your talents back to Portsmouth.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it is unique as well. And plus the fact that she's a woman. Oh, yeah. Y'all know how women can do anything. Yeah. So I think it's great that she's doing that. So now, you have your clientele, you're building your database and everything for your clientele. You have your interns, which I think is wonderful, and they're learning. So how long do they provide interns for you?
So this is to plug them, why not? Hampton Roads Workforce Council. They have a Next Gen program. They're located in Norfolk.
Okay, these are located in Norfolk. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but they're Next Gen coordinators, Next Generation coordinators. They go to different schools in the area. So they particularly went to Portsmouth schools to get my interns. So your question was, what do the interns do?
Well, how long do they provide
how long? Intern? Okay, so they started in, I want to say, they started in April and it ends June 30th, but one of them is continuing on throughout the whole summer. Okay. The other is going to focus on basketball.
Now, will you be able to get another one, or would you just have to?
Yes, I actually did request a new intern.
And so they have this ability to pay them from the money that they have on budget.
It's a nonprofit,
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so grateful for it because I don't like social media, so I figured kids would be more savvy with that. So
that is really something. I'm definitely gonna get that information so I can get me someone that's more tech savvy than I am because. They can have, this show all over the place. I'm doing my best, y'all. I am on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. So I'm trying. But, these kids that have me on TikTok. Everything. So I definitely want to tap into that because, listen, we don't know everything. That's one thing we have to be mindful of. We don't know everything, but you have to utilize other people. You have to make room for them. You can't keep everything to yourself, and that's what a lot of us like to do. We want to be so selfish. Oh, this mine, this mine, this mine. Why not open it up and make it larger than what it could be?
Yeah, and I'm a huge collaborator, so I'm always asking for their input, and they're kind of like, I'm like, I want your input. I want to work together. Help me build this. Like, let's make a difference together. So they feel, a sense of, importance.
Absolutely.
Because I rely on them for feedback and ideas.
They should.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of them. Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you have a dress code?
I did have a dress code, but they were coming straight from school a lot of the time, so I just let it go. Except for if I have a client meeting lined up, then I want them to dress up.
See, that is so important. I love it. I really do, because even though you need their help, you're giving them the opportunity to see basically entrepreneurship, self-employment. How it is to be, I like to say the boss, y'all, the supervisor or whatever, but ownership. I mean, you're showing them all of that, and you're getting that into their heads that I'm going to do this one day. Whether it's what she does or something else they decide to do, this is what I'm going to do. Even the one playing basketball, you know, she can play basketball, but on the side she have her own business, and you know, she just seeing this leadership ability. And I think it's wonderful to show the two different sides. Because like with me, I have my hair down side, y'all. I cut my hair, so those no jokes. But I got my let my hair down type side.
Yeah.
Then I have my okay, it's time to be professional
Me
side.
too.
You see, and so you get to show these youth, these young people, the different sides of ownership, of you know, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
When to turn it on and when to turn it off. And it's amazing because a lot of times all they see is what their supervisor does.
Yeah.
You know, all they see is the professionalism or the non-professionalism. That's all they see.
Right.
But you get to show them the ins and outs. And that's why I used to love hanging with preachers.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, so many people put them on pedestals. And I say them. Because I'm not a pastor of a church. Yes, I preach all that stuff. But we put them on pedestals. And we forget that they're human.
Right.
We forget that, you know, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make the wrong decisions. And sometimes they're not going to resist temptation.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And so hanging out with them constantly, I see this is just an average woman. This is just an average man. They've been chosen to do this job. But, you know, they make mistakes just like me. They, you know, some of them curse just like me. Mm-hmm. Some of them struggle with it too. They'll let you know, man, I struggle with cursing. I'm laughing, but it's so true. Yeah. You know, oh, I struggle with it. Every once in a while I need a drink. You know, and so we don't get to see that when they're in the pulpit. So we're thinking, well, he shouldn't have done that, and he should have known that. But
so put together.
Right. But we all have our flaws, we have our trials, we have our tribulations. And for a young person to be able to see the behind the scenes of what the boss goes through,
yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
It's all in education. You teaching. I'm at a point in my life now, I'll be 50 this year, and I'm not ashamed. And I'm at a point in my life where I want to leave so much behind.
Yeah.
You know, I want the young folks to be able to say that I left them something, some kind of encouragement, some kind of lesson that they can take on. Mm-hmm. Because when I was young, that was left for me.
Okay.
You know, I grew up and people don't know my story. And no, y'all, I'm not taking over the interview. We're just collaborating, we're just talking. But people know my story. I grew up in Academy Park. I don't know if you remember what Academy Park was. And I grew up there in the middle to late 70s, okay? And so we still had a lot of people that did not like black people and stuff like that, but it was okay. I'm not coming for the race part. I'm just saying I was able to be in a position where I still didn't know about racism. You know, because even though my neighbors felt that way, they didn't treat me that way.
Okay.
You know, so, and they were kind to me. They would take me on trips. Then they had one on the other side now that wouldn't talk to us. Mm-hmm. But it was okay, you know, because my mother never even introduced us to it. She never told us why they didn't deal with us. You know what I'm saying? We just lived our lives. So I started off in that, and that's really all I knew. The little box house out Academy Park, okay? I didn't know that I was able to have more than that. Okay, we had a car and stuff like that. We thought my mama was bougie. She's what I would call ghetto bougie. Y'all, you hear me that? Ghetto bougie. Because my mama was bougie. We had our car. We had this. We had our little stuff. We never wanted for anything. And my mother couldn't even get public assistance because she worked and stuff like that with 3 kids. So, you know, she walking right there like Queen Bee because, you know, I'm taking care of mine. So when we moved, I was going to cry out, we moved to Manor. And that's when reality was like, whoo, these big old houses out here. Because if you go further back into like Crystal Lake, you see those big houses and stuff like that. And I was like, wow. So I was like, I want to know who live in those houses. Those are my friends, my classmates from school. Their parents were doctors and lawyers and stuff. I said, okay, so I can live like this. So what happened is, and I tell this story to everybody, Dr. Fisher was once my teacher, but her daughter and I became good friends. I mean, good friends, little sorority sisters in high school. And so I would be at Patricia Frisch's house sometimes, you know, and that's when I was like, wow, I can have this.
I went to Manor.
I went to Manor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can live like this. I can have this house where it looked like the Brady Bunch house where you got the round little circle in front of the fireplace where you put the Christmas, you know what I'm saying? And it opened up my eyes. And then when Miss Fisher would take us to her friend's house, that was like the first time I saw a house where the bed did not hinder the bedroom space.
Oh, okay.
The bed was in there, but you had so much space you could run around in the bed, you know. Because, you know, back in where I live, you put a bed in there, and that's the whole bedroom right there. You know, you just go in 1, 2, 3, 4 steps in the bed, 2 more steps in the dresser. But I didn't know. I didn't know about that type of living. So when you start introducing these things to young kids that don't know about it, you just broaden their horizons. You show them that, yeah, I can work towards this. This is my goal, to have a home like this or to have a vehicle like this. You know, it was amazing for me. It was an eye opener for me to experience that. So when I went in the military, my goal was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna do this thing, you know. And at 22, I bought a house, you know, and it wasn't like the one I saw. But the thing of it is, I bought one, you know. So I think what you're doing by allowing the interns, the teenagers to come and work with you is awesome. I mean, I really...
Thank you.
You're welcome. I really just, my hat's off to you for doing that because you don't have to.
Yeah.
You know,
and I did find myself like teaching more. I thought they would be more self-reliant initially. But then I realized, I'm pouring into them. I have to help them. So it was a learning curve for me because I didn't expect to have to do so much. But I am really excited about their growth and everything that I've been able to introduce them to and what's to come. And I'm approaching 40.
Okay.
So I feel the need to leave a legacy and make an impact. So with the PI firm, my story is that my grandmother has Alzheimer's dementia, and she got diagnosed about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I would help out all the time because my mom is the POA. Okay. So she was like the primary caregiver, and I want to help my mom because my mom is an older adult as well. So I stepped in to help, and then the stay-at-home order happened 2 years ago with the pandemic, and so her adult daycare shut down. Okay. And we all needed to step up, the whole family, but I lost my job. So I had more time to step up, and I became a caregiver, a non-paid caregiver for my grandmother. And then I started studying family violence and things of that sort in the criminal justice field, and I saw that she had experienced all kinds of elder abuse in the past 10 years, beginning with self-neglect. And that's one of the largest issues there is, because sometimes older adults don't know that they're neglecting, care for themselves. So I just realized those things about her, and I got a little sad. I'm like, I gotta nip this in the bud. This can never happen again. And then there's like rotating home health aides coming and going, or saying they came and they didn't actually come, and nobody knows that. And that's where you would set up surveillance cameras or have someone outside,
Oh my goodness. So then they're getting paid.
Yes.
But they never showed up.
Yeah, and then there's no proof. So that's why proof please exists.
Oh my goodness. Now explain the self-neglect so that people who don't know can kind of identify what it is, and you say in older adults.
Yes. So older adults, they're 60 and older or 65 and older. And self-neglect looks like maybe, they forgot to eat. They haven't been checking the mailbox. Maybe there's an odor, and you're like, where did this come from? And and it's kind of sad to get into. I get really emotional.
I have some tissues, honey. Hold on.
But
I have some tissues.
A lot of times, older adults, they want to age in place. They don't want to leave their homes. And sometimes you don't know how well or not well they're doing for themselves, because you might only visit them on Sunday after church.
Right.
Or, on holidays. So someone needs to check in, thank you.
You're welcome.
With them. And that's one of our services that we offer. And it's really important to me. So
Absolutely.
I'm a purpose-driven entrepreneur.
Wow. And then you're passionate about it, And that's the thing. A lot of times we start these businesses that we're not passionate about. Mm-hmm. And guess what? We don't put our all into it. And then we wonder why our businesses fail. Why we have to stop. Or why we stop because we're not making any money. When you're not money-driven, but you're driven more for the passion and the purpose-driven, you keep going. You keep going no matter who it affects. You're going to make me cry. You're gonna make me cry, Cindy. But I get it. Keep on. Keep crying. Because my grandmother had Alzheimer's as well. So I definitely understand. So it's not like I haven't been through it. And I do understand why my uncle was at the nursing home every day.
Yes, you have to.
Every day he was there to check on his mom. I mean, and it better be right. And I remember one time she got lost in the cornfield. And when I tell you, that man almost burst wide open until they found his mama. So I do understand the purpose of what you're doing and the importance of what you're doing, because when they get to that point, who do they have? Right. And so say like they don't have family. They have you. They have Cindy. Yes. And the next person that's going to come around and do something like this to take care of our elderly. So go ahead and cry, baby, because I do understand. And it just, I just think it's an amazing thing that you're doing. It's wonderful. Everybody can't do it. And that's the whole thing of what I was saying about we choose these businesses and they're not really a passion of ours. Like a lot of people want to go into daycare, but you don't like children like that. Okay? But you want the money, you want the perks, the USDA, you want all of that stuff, but you don't really care for the children. You have to have a passion for kids in order to have a prosperous daycare.
And the same with the home health agencies that pop up. Like that's a new great business model. But if you're not passionate about caring for older adults, then that's when elder abuse creeps into the scene, and then I have to be called. So I'm really also passionate about preventing it, and this is a new project of mine, which is I have created a nonprofit that will educate and advocate for the prevention of elder abuse, and that's called the Proof Foundation because it derived from Proof Please. So with the foundation, we're going to be advocating same way with the PI firm, but we're creating educational programs so that we can go into these home health agencies and hospitals and nursing homes or whatever, and just educate them on how to identify and prevent elder abuse. Because I don't want to have to investigate it.
Right.
I don't want to, but I know it's a problem. I know it's there, so I'm there when you need me.
Right.
But I'd rather prevent it.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Now, once you realize or discover that it's an issue,
yes,
how do you handle that?
I guess it depends on the issue, because I haven't had an issue with physical abuse, and I would actually call law enforcement. For something of that sort. But through a consultation, it's a lot of questioning, long talks to see if I could even substantiate the case for you. So I'm seeking to substantiate the case so then you can take it to Adult Protective Services with all the proof.
Okay. Now, would you have to sometimes go to court on behalf of the individual?
I think that is a possibility, and I do have that written in my contract.
Right, that you would go to be a witness. I mean, I think it's wonderful. I think the initiative, the actual business is a great business. I'm not sure if you have heard of anybody else doing it.
No.
You know, because it seemed like something fresh.
Yeah.
It really does. And that's the thing. You know, you guys, we got to come up with our own initiatives, our own ideas on how to use our gifts. Let me put it that way. You know, I'm going to always throw something biblical in there because our gifts will make room for us. And meaning, and I know most of you will know what it means, but your gift, when used correctly, you won't have to ask anybody for a job.
Yeah.
You won't, right?
Yeah.
You won't have to ask anybody for a job. Cindy said she lost her job, I guess, due to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And now look what she's doing, working for herself. It was a push. Yeah. It was a push. It was. And see, what I did was when I got out of one predicament, I was able to let go of a job and put more emphasis on my businesses. And that's what's important. Eventually, you'll be able to shy away from what you're doing and put all of your emphasis on what you have going on for yourself. But the thing is, you have to work. Like, unlike me the other day, I was so tired. I went in the office. I don't know if you was there. I think it was Friday. No, maybe it was Saturday. No, it was Saturday, yesterday. I went in the office to do some work, and I was so exhausted for, trying to burn the candles at both ends.
Right.
I laid my chair back.
Oh, no.
And I was knocked out. And I did a little video, y'all. If y'all go to my page, you'll see the first 2 chairs is where I was, because I was gone. But you can't do it all the time, but you can take a break when you're the boss.
Yes.
You can take a break. But the thing is, you got to put in as much effort. You have to believe that, let me see. I'm going to tell you how it was said to me. You have to work towards your own goals as if you cannot breathe. As if you are underwater and cannot breathe. You have to fight to get to where you want to be in your own business. You have to keep pushing. True. You cannot give up. The money is not going to come all the time. See, with what I do, unless I have an event or I get donations, which I have, received donations in the past, and I thank you all. I mean, just out of the blue, people will watch you and or pay attention to what you're doing, and they will send you a donation. So don't think it's not good people out there, because there's some good people out there that are watching what you're doing. And so I thank you again for your donation. But my money doesn't come on every Friday or every 2 weeks. So if I'm money based, it's like, this show is not going to work. Right. What I do is not going to work. But because I'm passion driven, it's whether the money come or not, I'm going to find a way to make it happen. Mm-hmm. And you can tell with Cindy, that's what she does. Yes. That's what she does. And then when you're passionate about your job, because I want to influence others, when you're just as passionate about what you're doing, you won't stop either. And then eventually what's going to happen? It's going to start flowing. It's going to start coming. People are going to start picking up on, hey, so-and-so is doing this. She's doing braids over here. That girl can do some nails. Let me call her. You see, and it's not going to happen overnight per se, but it will happen as long as you don't stop. If you stop, you'll never know. You'll never know. Because what Cindy is doing, we definitely need. I might need it. My sons might need it for me, because I can tell you right now, them things are not going to be home with me. I know the baby going to send me to a nursing home. I already know he is. He going to send me to a nursing home. He told me one day that I was a non-resuscitation patient. I don't think he realized what he was saying. Right. And then again, I'm like, do he realize what he said? So I had to take my insurance money out of his name, because I'm like, you give it up too easy. I'm like, no, you're supposed to make sure that they try to save me. But what I'm saying is, my sons, I don't expect them to not live their lives. Right. So if they have to hire someone to take care of me, to take care of my well-being, that's what I expect them to do, and we're going to need people out there like Cindy. I think, you know what I think you should do? What? I think you should like branch out and let people buy into your company. You know, have different branches of your business.
Okay.
Eventually, and you're gonna be the top dog. They gotta answer to you.
Yeah.
But you're gonna write the policies and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just gonna be an arm to what you have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
I pray
that's what's
that
gonna
it
happen.
grows, it expands. I want licensed private investigators in every state because it's not exclusive to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
The growing population of older adults.
Yeah.
It's so huge.
But you can make it easier for them.
Yeah.
You got it all started, so you can make it easier for them. You can tell them this is what you need to qualify to buy into my company.
Okay.
This is what you need to do. These are the regulations. I will be guiding you. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do to represent this company, we will have to remove you from our tree.
Okay, I like that.
I like it too. Because I can see it growing.
Yeah.
I mean, the insurance people do it all the time. What else? Like people selling, telemarketing. They do it all the time. You know, they start in the United States and then they branch out into another country and stuff like that. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see you running that business to where you have agents in different cities and they're taking care of the elderly.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I am too. I can't wait. Y'all here to hear on Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. She is going to branch out, and then that elderly are going to be taken care of. And not only our elderly, I can see our special needs clients receiving the same care. You know, I can see that. I'm telling you, this thing's going to be big for Cindy.
Yeah.
It's going to be big. I don't know what it is. Y'all know. Y'all might think I'm funny all the time. I am funny, but the Lord, the Holy Spirit works through me. I tell you that right now. A lot of times I know a lot of stuff before it's going to happen. I'm not a prophet. You know, people want to say I'm not. That's not me. I'm telling you, he just talks to me. And if she doesn't stop, that's the stipulation.
I'm not gonna
if
stop.
you don't stop, it's going to grow larger than you can imagine.
Wow.
And all I want you to do is just come back on the show and say, you was right. It did. You know, that's all I want. I don't need anything else. But I'm telling you, it's going to be big. I can see it. So you make sure you got everything in order, all your trademarks or whatever you need. Copyright all your policies or whatever, however you do it. Make sure you got everything on the up and up because this thing is going to be big. Your business is going to be big. And I don't think I had anybody on this show that I have said this to. So I know it's not me saying it, but this is necessary. Everybody want to make sure that their elderly family members are taken care of. And just think about the ones that don't have family.
Yeah.
This is important. So I'm just so excited. I know that it's going to be prosperous. And I'm looking forward to your future.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I think it's great. Don't y'all think it's great? Tell them, and this is me talking. Tell them how they can support you in this endeavor.
So you can follow my social medias.
Okay.
On LinkedIn, we're Proof Please. Instagram, we're Proof Please. Twitter, we're Proof Please PI. Facebook, we're Proof Please PI. And our website is proofpleasepi.com. Be on the lookout for news about the nonprofit that's going to advocate and educate about how to prevent elder abuse. That's called the Proof Foundation, which I just got verified with the IRS. So we're about to be in position we're in the position now to take donors, but I'm still building up the programming before I officially launch that. But yeah, Proof Please on Instagram, www.proofpleasepi.com. is the website.
Proofplease.com.
And I'm just really excited to be doing this, and especially in a male-dominated field. Mm-hmm. So I think as a woman, private investigator, I have an advantage because I'm less assuming, especially in a surveillance setting, less threatening.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that I can take advantage of the parts of who I am that people would define as maybe lesser or weak, and those are actually my strengths in my investigative work.
Thank you, Cindy, for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Don't fire me. That's my assistant.
Oh.
Yes, necessary. That's awesome. Yes. So we got her website in the comments. Y'all can look her up because you just never know who may need your services. So please look her up and touch her if you need her. Just she's basically the only one doing it around here, so we're gonna have to deal with her prices.
Well, I offer free consultations.
Well, there you go. That's your
free 30-minute consultation because I need to ascertain if I can even help you. Mm-hmm. So free consultations, background checks, background investigations, covert surveillance, and wellness checks. And then we do like a little random PI stuff here and there.
Okay.
So
don't be calling trying to make a deal. Okay, a labor's worthy of the pay. Don't try to make a deal with it because you ain't making a deal with McDonald's or Chris.
Right.
Ruby Tuesdays, Chris Rules.
Well, Ruby Tuesday has the buy one get one coupon all the time.
But we can't go in there and say, hey, let me get this store instead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you pay these other people, you're gonna pay Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. So let's not try to make deals and whatnot. Because she's worth everything that she's offering, that's right. You do your research, you get your certifications, you put your time in, you're making you're contributing to our youth as well. You're worth everything that you're asking for, and I'm pretty sure I know you're going to do a great job. Like I said, it's going to explode. You guys be on the lookout for Proof Please with Cindy Earls. Thank you so much for joining our show today.
Thank you.
I cannot be even more happier for you as if it was my own business, but I already got 2 minutes, so I'm going to stick to what I do, and that is helping out the entrepreneurs like yourself. And also putting out the business. So join us next time on Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love because we want to know what you're talking about. All right. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you so much for this platform.
Sure.